Hi, welcome. This is my campaign update for this week, and I want to talk a little bit about me in it, my personal growth throughout my life, obstacles that I had to come over or get over to move forward, and things of that nature. But I still want to say that my lawsuit is still pending with the Supreme Court. I have not heard anything lately, so I don't know what's going on, but that's where we are. So I am Susan Maude Buchser-Lochocki, and I am a presidential candidate from the 2024 presidential election, and I have not conceded, so I am still a candidate for that election, and quite possibly anything else that might come up. So there we go. We're still waiting. But we're having transparency out of Washington, so that's good. I can't remember. I think there were some decisions that were going to be voted on that by going into recess, I think they automatically pass the Senate or the House. So I don't know really what's going on, but it sounds to me like the House is going on recess right now, even though they have a vote that they're supposed to do. So I can't remember how that works. So we'll have to wait and see, and we'll find out, I suppose. But yeah. So that's what's going on in Washington and how things are happening there. So my growth, my personal growth, and things that I do now, I guess, and I might do several, like I might say a little bit and then stop and make a new video. So there might be more than one part to this week's campaign update. So I was born with learning disabilities. I had dyslexia and I had some sort of hip problem. I had to be in a brace for a while when I was a child. I also have large motor skill issues, which I have sort of classic symptoms, I think, of dyslexia, and so I'm not good with language, but I'm good with math, and so, I compensated for that, and art, and basically with math and art, that's how I ended up getting to college, and then my first degree. So these are things that I've had to overcome. And, I owe a lot of my current writing ability to spending the last 10 years on the internet and making comments and even having people get mad at me and say, you spelled that wrong or this wrong, or you have to learn how to put commas in and everything. So a lot of people say that it's bad to be on, Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram and all of these things, but it's actually for people who are dedicated to growth, which I am. It's actually a blessing because you can take the time and learn how to spell and people correct you. And, if you're going to correct people, do it in a nice way, because English is not everybody's first language. And dyslexia does exist. Learning disabilities exists. What I have noticed recently is, since I've taken a hard stance on Israel, I don't know why this is, but it seems my certain pages where I'm trying to write stuff, the spell check seems to do funny things. Now, I don't know if one is really correlated with the other, but I have to say that it's somewhat a new phenomenon since about a year When I dictate too, sometimes the words come out really strange. And even though I've tried to change my dictation format and everything, it still is coming out strange. So, I mean, some of the misspellings are now not from me, but they're from my dictation or the dictation app that I'm using. So, just beware that there are, or maybe it's some sort of spyware or some sort of malware I've got. I don't know. But anyways, yeah. So sometimes my wording doesn't sound exactly right, and that's when. And I swear sometimes I go in and I mean I know this now, so I go in and I correct it, and then I click send or whatever, I post, and then it goes back to that original writing, or it takes on some new form in the posting process. So it's almost like I have to check it a third time and do an edit, and it's a bit annoying. I don't know what's really going on, but yeah. So these are all things that I've overcome, and I've gotten good at, I think. So, and I had stage fright as a child for a long time, as you know. Anybody who's been following me for a while knows that I was supposed to be a munchkin in my junior high or even elementary. No, I think it was junior high. We were doing the Wizard of Oz, and everybody had to participate, but I didn't want to be in it, and I made sure I wasn't. At the bus stop, there was a kid who had a flu, and it was like a week and a half, 2 weeks before the show, and I asked him. I said, "Hey, cough on me," and he did. I got sick, and I didn't have to perform. I mean, I just had like one or two lines, even like one or two words, and I had to sing the Munchkin song. But I was petrified. I was absolutely petrified. I could not do it, and so I gave up. I was like, no, this is not for me. And when I saw that possibility, I had him cough on me, and then it worked, and I didn't have to do it. So, some things I wasn't ready for when I was a kid, but as an adult, you become ready, and then you find your way. And I have to thank also my Unitarian Universalist fellowship or group or community in Basel, Switzerland, for helping me to practice public speaking and get it to the point of where it is today. I really appreciate that. Well, and also running for president and Congress, too. I did that in 22. But this is my second time running for president. And, you have to do a lot of public speaking. And I thank everybody involved with that, too. It's been difficult, but a joy. And sometimes your biggest successes are difficult, but once you achieve them, then it's celebration time. So I am happy to be a public speaker now. I used to be terrified of all of this, but it's no longer an issue. And I was terrified before because you have to read sometimes in public, and my reading skills because of my dyslexia were so poor. And then I grew up in an abusive household with two alcoholic parents, and there was just no speaking allowed, and it was met with anger and just verbal abuse. So I learned to not talk. So this is I've come a long way, and I think I'm doing really well, especially for my start. So I'm going to stop here, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about growing up with alcoholic parents and what choices I made then for my own life from that. So check back in. Thanks for listening. See you in a minute. Bye.